What if we could reverse engineer longevity? I spent the last 20 years trying to do just that.
Hey guys, thanks for joining me today for another Blue Zones video. In today's video, I'm going to share with you the information I learned from Blue Zones documentary Live to 100 for Nicoya, Costa Rica. What secrets were included? What delicious foods do they eat? What is it about the Nicoyans that help them to be some of the healthiest people in the world? Well, I'm going to tell you and share the information with you. But before we get started, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this, as well as my other videos on faith, health, and beauty all year round. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the Blue Zones, it's 5 areas of the world where people live, the most people live to be over 100 or centenarians. And Dan Buettner, for decades, has been studying this phenomenon and traveling to these regions as well as other countries around the world. In the Netflix documentary, he shares 5 locations that have the top numbers, how they live, recommendations for living a healthy life, and the top foods that they eat that can be beneficial to anyone who uses them. Why am I making this video? Because I think at any age you should be thinking about your health and wanting to live your healthiest life and living as long as you can, and any information I can give you to help you do that, I'm happy to share. And I've been using a lot of these recipes and information from the book and sharing with family and friends as well. I actually bought the Blue Zones Kitchen, and next on my list is the Blue Zones Kitchen American in February. So Dan says that in Nicoya, Costa Rica, he's found what he thinks to be the healthiest breakfast in the world. Well, it sure is a beautiful place to go eating breakfast, and you see this picture, the water's gorgeous and a beautiful color, and you see the landscape and the beautiful people, and it just looks like a wonderful place to visit. One thing that he points out about this breakfast is they make their own tortillas, and they're not their own corn tortillas, and they're not made with a lot of different ingredients like some tortillas are on the market in the US, where you have all these softeners and preservatives and everything that are being added. They are basic, they are simple. I'm going to turn here quickly and tell you the ingredients that they have for the nixtamon tortillas. 2 cups masa harina, 1/4 teaspoon baking soda, 1.5 cups warm tap water, plus more is needed, plastic wrap and wax paper. That's it. And I'm sure the masa they're using there is probably a lot healthier than the one we can get in the US. And if you happen to live in any of the South American countries, I'm sure you've probably got healthier masa harina as well. And you can order masa online at Amazon. You can also check the ethnic food aisles, go to Latin grocers, and you might find better masa. So he talks about them also eating beans almost at every meal, specifically black beans. They contain the same pigment-based anthocyanins found in blueberries. They're rich, colon cleansing, blood pressure lowering, and insulin regulating, and they're filled with folates like potassium and B vitamins to boot. And the coffee, he also mentions, made from a local strain of pea berry beans that provides a boost of antioxidants plus metabolism boosting caffeine. So they're not drinking Starbucks, the other coffees that we tend to drink a lot. They're making some from pea berry. That's similar to using chicory for coffee, which I recently began drinking. I found out the health benefits, and it tastes really good. It smells good, and it looks like coffee. So I use that in place of coffee now. Starbucks really sees me, and when they do, it's because I'm getting maybe organic tea that they have, or a juice that's sold in the bottle, the cold pressed juices. And also, he mentioned how affordable the food is there. For example, the total cost of the breakfast he ate was $4.23 US dollars. The very fair price, he says, to discover Nicoya's secrets to longevity. So what I got from the documentary itself, my notes I took, they have a motto called Plan de Vida, and they plan on living longer. They plan on living healthier, and they plan on being happier. So it's not something that just happened to come about accidentally or coincidentally. They make it a goal to be happy and healthy and to live long. Also, they do a lot of things by hand instead of using equipment that we use and doing a lot of things mechanically or even buying things that are already processed. They do a lot of these things by hand, including grinding the corn, grinding elements. They make a lot of their own things, including the coffee. I think it was interesting they show exactly how they use the pea berries to make the coffee. They make their own donuts in the oven, and no, they don't look like the donuts we buy in the stores, but I bet you they're good, and since the recipe's in this book, I'm definitely going to be trying it. And they bake them in the oven, and I'm going to try and see how these taste. I bet you they taste delicious. I've also done the fried plantains. I'm addicted to the fried plantains. I've been eating 100% raw, or recently, within the past few months, I've gone to 90% raw and 10% cooked. And my cooked are beans and the Okinawan bread. And some of the recipes in here, they have the potatoes and fennels and things. I'm really loving the blue zones. And that 10% that I do eat cooked is lightly cooked, not a lot of ingredients, simple recipes, and blue zones approved because they're from the books, from the people who are the longest living in the world. So I definitely recommend trying these recipes. If someone like me who has been eating raw vegan so long, and I refused to deviate from it until I learned about the blue zones and all the healthiness, you should try it. Now, there are a few recipes in here that are raw, like the hearts of palm ceviche that also comes from Nicoya. They've got a tropical fruit salad that I enjoyed. They've got some drinks that are also raw, and some of the other countries in here as well have some raw dishes that I also incorporate now into my raw vegan diet. And again, I'm not looking back, and there's a difference in how I feel and how I look, so I definitely recommend it. Nicoya actually stands out amongst the 5 blue zones locations because it's not a very wealthy place. But you can see the people are happy, and they live simply, and they find joy in the everyday. They find joy in each other, in fellowshipping, in spending time with each other, and doing things that bring them joy, entertainment. And they even had in the video a gentleman who's 103 riding a horse. That is freaking awesome. So I want to grow up and be like him. Another thing I learned is don't complain. And they tend not to complain about things that happen. They find the positive in each situation, and they express the joy and gratitude for it. And I've learned to do that as well, actually, before watching the Blue Zones documentary, but it's just reinforced what I've learned. Also, being faithful in the living God. They have a strong faith in believing in Him, and He's a part of their day. And just like the Seventh-day Adventists, I think these are the 2 places that have that as tantamount to their well-being. Also, slow down for what matters. Not focusing so much on the things the world says are important, but what's important to you. And like before, the environment is beautiful, the land is beautiful, it's clean, and it just looks like a beautiful place to visit. I don't think it matters as far as someone going, well, it doesn't look polished, it doesn't look like a tourist attraction. Well, for me, the tourist attraction is seeing these beautiful people living their best lives, finding joy in everything, and just radiating health and learning, eating their local foods and learning from them. That to me would be worth a trip to Nicoya, Costa Rica. So now I'm going to share with you top longevity ingredients from Nicoya. So Blue Zone states, in the traditional diet of the people who live on Costa Rica's Nicoya Peninsula, About 80% of the daily calories come from different types of carbohydrates, including grains that add up to about 26% of their typical diet, with the remaining 20% of calories coming from various proteins and fats in about equal measures. Black beans are eaten every day, often at every meal, and the black beans they depend on contain more antioxidants than any other bean, as I mentioned earlier, and are arguably the best in the world. So let's go over the top longevity ingredients and see how you can include them in your diet, no matter what you eat, how you eat, and where you live, and reap some of the benefits. First off, we have small sweet peppers, and they're rich in vitamins, especially vitamin C, and there's several health benefits from eating them, including reduced risk of a number of chronic diseases. And I love mini peppers. They taste better when you eat them, probably because they're smaller. And the red, yellow, and orange are very sweet. I've never seen many green peppers unless it's a hot pepper like a serrano or jalapeno. But you can include those as well if you like spice. Add them to your dishes as you see fit. Second ingredient, as I mentioned, the top longevity ingredient, is black beans. They're full of fiber and protein, and the soluble fiber in them helps reduce bad cholesterol. The insoluble fiber aids digestion, so you can't go wrong. I think I eat black beans at least 5 times a week now, whether I'm adding it to some type of soup, like the ones that are in the Blue Zones book, or I'm adding them to a salad, making Texas caviar, which includes black beans. I find a way to incorporate them as much as possible during every week now. The third top longevity ingredient from Nicoya is ground corn, or nixtamal. It's used to make tortillas, eaten at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It increases the body's ability to absorb calcium, iron, and minerals. And I know a lot of you probably love flour tortillas. I personally rarely ate them before I became raw vegan. I always preferred corn tortillas, and when I do get tortillas, whether it's for me or for family members, and even in the past, I made sure they had the least amount of ingredients. You can look in your local area and see what brands are carried there. Read the packages, and they should have 4 ingredients or less. Buy those. You've got Mission and these other big company brands, and they add too much garbage. Sorry, leave those tortillas and eat the ones made by locals. Help support them and get the best food for you and your family. And I guarantee you they're going to taste way better than the mass market one. The fourth top longevity ingredient from Nicoya is cilantro. And I know everyone on here has probably heard of cilantro. This herb is used in many Nicoyan dishes. It's known to help lower blood sugar levels and reduce the risk of cardiovascular diseases. It also aids digestion. I love adding cilantro to salads, different recipes. I love adding it to raw juices I make. It's a really tasty, delicious herb. It smells great, and it's an affordable herb. You can find this herb anywhere, whether you get conventional or organic. I recommend organic when you can. You'll find cilantro everywhere. The fifth top longevity ingredient from Nicoya is coconut. It's a good source of healthy saturated fats that actually boost fat burning. It also increases HDL cholesterol, the good kind, which is linked to a lower risk of heart disease. You've got so many delicious, unrefined coconut oils that you can use in your cooking or spread on your toast and so forth. You can find coconuts everywhere now, including in your local health food stores. You can get shredded coconut that's raw and add that to your desserts and dishes. There's so many ways to incorporate coconut. Coconut water, 100% coconut water, coconut milk. If you already don't use coconut or coconut products, you really should try it. It makes everything taste better. I replaced store-bought creamers for my chicory root coffee and my herbal teas, as well as my black teas, with coconut milk and coconut cream, and I've never looked back. It tastes so good, and I know I'm getting a lot of health benefits that you wouldn't get from a creamer. The sixth top longevity ingredient from Nicoya is cilantro, also known as Mexican coriander. It's related to cilantro, but with a much stronger flavor, and it's rich in calcium, iron, and riboflavin. And you can see how it looks. It almost looks like arugula without the little pointed ends. And I haven't been able to find it, but if you can find it, you probably will find it in a local Latin grocer. And duh, I'm talking to you now. I haven't tried that, so I'm probably going to give that a try so I can try culantro. The 7th top longevity ingredient from Nicoya is chilero sauce, probably the most popular condiment in Costa Rica. It gives a probiotic boost to dishes from its vinegar and its antioxidant and antibacterial properties from its peppers. And the Blue Zones has a recipe that I'm definitely going to try soon. I was going to save it for summer. I love Tabasco sauce, the green jalapeno one. I also love the Cholula hot sauce. So I'm hoping to give the chilero sauce a try. When I do make it, I'll make a quick video and let you know what I think and share with you the recipe that's in the book, giving them full credit, of course. The next top longevity ingredient from Nicoya is papaya trees. Now they grow almost like weeds in Nicoya, and I can imagine that, and I would love that. The rich orange flesh of the fruit contains vitamins A, C, and E, plus papain, which counters inflammation. I would love, love, love to be able to have papaya every day. Unfortunately, in the U.S., this is one of the more expensive fruits. Sometimes it's cheaper in the summer, but not by much now. I would love to be able to have papaya every single day in smoothies, in fruit salads, and I eat the seeds, and I want to let you know about that. You can take the seeds, let them dry out naturally, grind them in a grinder and use them in place of pepper and get those health benefits. You can also leave some in your fruit salads. Yes, they're a little spicy, they give a kick, but the health benefits are amazing, including the seeds kill parasites. So don't throw those seeds away. Use everything but the skin. I don't know how to use the skin, but if you do, let me know in the comments below. The next top longevity ingredient from Nicoya is squash. It's available in several varieties, known for providing high levels of useful carotenoids. My favorites are the kabocha squash, butternut squash. I like acorn squash. It's a little sweeter, and I don't use it as often. I love the spaghetti squash. I really want to try delicata. It looks pretty, and I hear it has a nice delicate flavor. What are your favorite squashes? Let us know in the comments below. And the last top longevity ingredient from Nicoya that the Blue Zone shares is yucca. And yucca is a good source of vitamin C and antioxidants. Basically, it's a powerhouse for boosting immunity and fighting infections and diseases. You can find yucca at a lot of the farmers markets, at your local markets that sell fruits and vegetables, produce, and some other things, and also at your Latin markets. Give it a try. It tastes really good. It also is great if you take it and peel it, slice it into circles, and dehydrate them as yucca chips. They taste absolutely fantastic. No matter your age, the Blue Zone's tips, recipes to live to 100 and beyond can help you and your family get the most out of the life that you live. And if this has been helpful to you, be sure to like and subscribe and share this video. And stay tuned for more videos like this, as well as my other videos on faith, health, and beauty all year round. My last 2 videos of Blue Zone's Kitchens will be Nicoya, Greece, and one more I'm not sure of yet, but you'll see it. And now I have a Blue Zone's playlist that also I'm turning into a podcast playlist. So be sure to check it out to see if there's any other videos that'll be good for you to get the information from. So that's it for now. Sorry it took me so long to get this next segment out. Continue to be happy, healthy, and whole. See you next time.
These people live to 100 at the highest rates in the world. And these secrets could help every one of us to get every good year we can get out of this body of ours. That is the promise of Blue Zones.